Welcome to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes, and thank you for joining me this Sunday morning. For those of you who are watching this live, it is Sunday morning. I'm streaming. For those of you, and it seems like most folks don't watch it live, don't watch my videos live when I live stream, but I do get a nice turnout when I stream. So I'm happy to have you here with me on this Sunday morning. I think it's, at least I'm considering this, for me, it's a reprieve from watching the news, this 24/7 news that talks about the same old subjects, and it's just nonstop. So yeah, this is a reprieve. I don't have to listen about the newscasters talking about Joe Biden and how he can barely walk, can barely talk, can barely think. I don't have to hear about that. I don't have to hear about Donald Trump, ripping off the banks. Although when I think about the banks and I think about the high percentage of interest they charge most of us for credit cards or even for loans nowadays, I have no sympathy for the banks, none whatsoever. But that's another story, and it's not anything I will get into on camera, not at all. But we are here today to talk about a desperate older worker who is saying to me, he's telling me that he's gonna work till he drops. And it's an extremely sad story. We're going to be talking about that. I'm going to give you another story that another one I heard yesterday. I heard both of these yesterday. And I think these are great lessons. I'm going to ask you to really stay with this video as long as you can. And after I talk briefly about these two folks, the folks I heard about, then I'm going to be kind of giving you, I'm going to give you what I know to be a solution that will help you. If you're one of those people who are desperate, you're saying to yourself, I got to work. I don't have a choice. I got to work, Lou. I got to work till I drop. And that means putting off retirement. And as we get older, as certainly as I've gotten older, I'm realizing, there's sometimes I'd like to relax, although anybody who knows me will tell you that I'm the same today as I was when I was in my 20s, always going, always working, always doing, always striving, and always hoping to accomplish. And really that's how it goes. But that's another story, another story. So let's get into this video. And before I do, though, I guess I should say is I want to ask you to do this. If you've liked this message, if you think this could help somebody that somebody who is desperate, somebody who really, is working at a place and they got to get out, or they're just not even working. If you think that this will help someone, please share this video, share it with them. Also, if you like the message, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing to this channel, to Over 50 TV. I have another channel, Side Hustle Rules, where I help people talk a lot about starting a business. I use the experience I've had building businesses that generated millions of dollars in sales. I talk about how you can build a side hustle, turn it into a full-time business. That's on Side Hustle Rules. You can check that channel out. So I'll ask you to share this video. Now, I also want to mention, I do have some links in the description box here that will to some of the videos that I'd like you to consider looking at, because I think they could help you. I've also got a link to Career Fitter. I'm an affiliate of Career Fitter. I recommend that only if you're someone out there who doesn't know what you want to do and you're trying to figure it out. Well, you know what? Take a career aptitude test. There's a free version. There's a paid version. I've got some other links that I know can help you. So anyways, that's another story. Another story. So let's get into the video. Let me start by just telling you a couple things that have happened and really the inspiration for this video. And these things happened yesterday. So it's not like I had a lot of time to plan this particular video, but it is a video that I've been thinking about doing for a long time because I know it can help folks. So yesterday I visited with a friend of mine who works at Target. Now, this is not an indictment against Target because they've done nothing wrong. But my friend's working there. He's working in the grocery area. He's 60. I think he's in his mid 60s at least. And I see him. I go up to him and I say, hey, I heard you've been out for a few weeks. You haven't been working. And he says, yeah, Lou. He goes, I was working, stocking shelves, and my leg went numb. About 3 weeks ago, my leg went numb. And he goes, I was frightened. I was scared. I'm looking at this guy, this skinny guy, and friendly as hell, one of my better friends now. And I'm looking at him and I'm just getting sadness in my eyes. And I feel so just bad for him. And he's saying, yeah, he goes, well, I went to the doctor. The doctor says, I I can't be lifting anything heavy and I can't be walking around. He goes, it's my back. I've got some issues. And he was telling me these numbers of these discs, which I'll never remember to the day I die. I won't remember that kind of stuff. But he says, I can't be walking. And he lifts up his jacket that he's wearing, this jacket that helps when you're working in the cold. He has a jacket that's thermally lined. And he lifts it up. He's got this huge wide belt. It's very wide. It's over a foot wide, and it's helping his back. And I look at him. I go, what are you doing here? Why are you working? He says, Lou, he goes, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. I need to work, and I'm going to work until I can't work anymore. And what does that mean? Does it mean he is a person who won't be able to walk anymore? Does it mean he's a person to be in a wheelchair? Is it a person who's going to be bedridden? And I thought to myself, is that some of the folks out there who watch my channel, who watch Over 50 TV? There's a lot of people in their 40s. There's people in their 50s. There's a lot of folks in their 60s. Mostly what I find is these are all people who are wondering what their future holds. So I get a call yesterday from a guy who's in a church. He's a friend of mine. He's higher up. I don't know exactly his position, but I know that he's very involved in his church. He says, Lou, I've got a friend of mine. He's 61 years old. He works for Kirby Vacuum Cleaner Company. And he says to me, he's working for Kirby. He says, Lou, he goes, I don't know, this might be a story idea, but this is a guy who's a middle management person who's working at a company who's slowly cutting back and laying folks off. And he goes, my friend's afraid what's going to happen to his future. And he knows at 60 years old, over 60, 61, he can't find another job, or it'll be difficult. And maybe he's even tried. I don't know. I didn't ask. But he says, could this be a story idea about folks who are older working at a company and they know they can't get another job, at least not what they're doing? He says, is this something that you could think about talking about? And of course I said, yes. And that's why I'm on here today, to talk about people who are working in these jobs, whether it's working in a grocery and lifting up heavy stuff and on your feet all the time, or maybe you're working in middle management and you don't know what's going to happen. You got someone dictating you to your future and telling you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you could do. I wish they would tell you what you could do, because they most times just tell you what you shouldn't do. Anyways, what I'm saying is there's folks out there that are working at these kind of companies. And for me, my answer is always the same. And I said this to both of those folks yesterday. I says, you got to learn another skill. And I know even at when you get a little bit older, you're thinking, I can't learn another skill. But most folks can. Most folks have that ability to. It's just making that decision to learn a new marketable skill. And there are plenty of opportunities out there. Check out my Over 50 TV, where I have videos that talk about careers, new careers. I have videos that talk about side hustles. Go to Side Hustle Rules, that channel. I've got videos there. I'm building that channel up now. It's just starting out basically, but I'm building that channel as well. And that channel will be more focused to some of the things that I'm going to recommend that you do, which is learning a new skill. If you don't want to start a side hustle, I understand it. If you don't want to start a business, but what's your alternative? What's the alternative? Is it to be working with a 1 foot wide belt around your waist, working stocking shelves, working until you drop or till you can't work anymore? Is that the alternative? Because for some folks out there, that is the future. That's the future. And there may be some out there who will say to me, well, Lou, that's not the future. But you know what? The statistics show quite clearly that most folks are working, older people are working longer and longer. And this is an uncertain future that we have, my friends. Technology, which I love, for me, I love, because I thrive with it. I love working with it. But technology is changing the way we all work. Look at those poor folks in HR. Those poor folks are losing their jobs. 25% or 30% of layoffs are happening in the HR industry. And I've got a better statistic in case I'm flubbing that stat, but it's true though. HR is taking a big cut. Those poor folks that we all love out there. And I say that sarcastically, of course. But you know what? Jobs are changing and technology is changing. And I see this in my industry with writers, people who are writing, and they're not getting the business they were getting because of apps like ChatGPT that can write what people used to need written. They're writing even resumes and doing a good job, by the way. People who are in video, who are creating videos, what they're finding out now is soon with ChatGPT coming out with their new app, they're going to be able to produce videos with lifelike characters in those videos. So what I'm saying is things are changing in all industries. I don't know that they're ever going to replace somebody stacking a grocery shelf, but they're going to replace middle managers. Certainly, many of them will be replaced over time. This is an uncertain future. Learning the skills that you can learn now to prepare for tomorrow, to me, is the way to go. Now, I'm always going to stand, as most of you know, fiercely and unapologetically with some of the most marginalized people, and that's folks who are over 50. I'm going to stand with them, and I'm going to try to help and do my best to share my information, to share what I know, to share what I learned, and ask other folks to share with you too. So look at my channels. Check out what I have on some of my, whether it's Over 50 TV or Side Hustle Rules. Look at those opportunities that we described, that I described. If you've got questions, you can always send me an email. You can always make a comment. I get back to everyone. It takes me a day or two, maybe even 3, but I get back to folks. But if you don't want to learn a skill, maybe a new skill, maybe you start a side hustle, which is going to need a skill, by the way. But I was heartened recently when I read an article that said 1 in 5 Blacks say owning a business is essential to financial success. So I am heartened by the fact that we have folks out there who believe and know and understand that owning a business is essential to their future, essential to their financial success. And I hope you'll consider that as well. So my solution, learn a skill. To sum this up, learn a skill, start a side hustle. Those are the 2 options that I believe you have. Or maybe you end up in middle management, going to get laid off, lose benefits, or maybe you're going to end up working in retail and you're going to do something that you really don't want to do. So that's my message for you this morning, this Sunday morning. And again, for those of you who aren't watching live, you know what? You'll watch it. And I just hope you'll take to heart what I have to say. Make a comment in the comment box. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to either channel and share this video, because I'll tell you this, YouTube won't share it. The message that's so important. So that is all I've got for you, my friends. And as I always say, have a great day, everybody.